This week, I'm searching for treasure in Jordan. Let the master get to work.
It is beautiful.
Plus, we're inside one of Switzerland's largest glaciers. We're starting this week in the ancient city of Petra in Jordan. It was carved out of the desert over 2,000 years ago by a local tribe called the Nabateans. And at the time was one of the world's wealthiest and closely protected cities. This split in the rocks is called the Sikh, and it was the only entrance or way in and out of the city, and it would have been heavily guarded to stop anyone from sneaking in and trying to take over. It's just breathtaking. At the end of the Sikh is the most famous part of Petra, the treasury, an elaborate temple carved from the sandstone. And that would be impressive if we built that today, but that was built thousands of years ago. Look at it. It's mind-boggling. I love this place. Can I move in? And just take a look around. You can see how popular this place is. It's the most visited in all of Jordan. But having all of these people here can bring problems. The delicate rocks are easily damaged by tourists touching the monuments or walking off the designated trails, especially in places where excavations are underway. But now there's a project aimed at getting tourists themselves involved with the conservation of the monuments to help protect one of the most threatened sites in the whole of Petra. This is the Temple of Winged Lions, a religious complex built in around 27 AD. I'm liking your office, Glenn. I like what you've done with it.
No, this is a beautiful place.
Glenn is in charge of the site and tells me how the problems here started in the 1970s when the temple was first excavated.
They uncovered this cool monument, but didn't do a wonderful job of doing the things necessary to preserve it for future generations. Whenever you excavate a monument, you have to pull a lot of the earth out of the ground in order to reveal it. And so this earlier project dumped a lot of that earth, and so as you'll see, we're trying to re-excavate those earlier archaeological dumps.
The dumps are huge mounds of compressed earth, which will take years to sort through. At the moment, there's a team of local people tackling this mammoth task.
We have specialists who come and actually work and train and work with the local community, and not have them just be regular day laborers that sort of help with manual labor, but actually training them in the tangible vocational skills to help them preserve the site in the coming years.
And the idea is that the locals then train tourists to help out too.
We're going to have them working on the soil dumps, looking for pottery and coins and other things the original excavation missed, to have the experience of actually doing archaeology for a day.
Okay, I've got some skills, man. Have you got a digger here or something?
Yeah, we're ready to go. Ready?
Hello, hello. Hi. How you guys doing? Woo! This is an interesting route to get down here. So tell me what you're doing.
Now we sift most of this sand.
Ahmed and Iman both grew up in Petra and have become experts at sorting through the material here. So you're basically sieving out all the dust and looking for the valuable pieces.
Yes.
Can I have a go? I was enjoying tasting the dust, but now Iman shows me the sort of thing they're looking for.
Like normal stones, we don't need them. We don't need to keep them. So
Yeah,
we
that
just...
doesn't look very valuable, that one.
No. So This is a part of jar, and it's Nabatean.
So that'd be the original people who lived here, the Nabateans?
Yes,
So that'd be very, very old.
yes.
Wow.
2,000 years old.
2,000 years old. Let's see if I can find any treasures. Okay, stand back. Let the master get to work. Any scorpions? Is that cool? Let's look. This one? That's stone. And this one? I'm terrible, I can't find anything. Well, I might not be having much luck, but over the last few years, they've found all sorts here. Painted pottery, coins, lamps, and decorations from the temple.
And we hope, inshallah, when we do more, we find more different and beautiful things.
Once the material's been sifted, it goes to a gala for cleaning. So what are you doing here?
بسوي بغسل فخار.
And how long have you been doing this for?
بشتغل لي 4 سنين. 4 سنين.
She tells me how working at the temple has been a lifeline for her and her family.
أنا اللي وديتهم على الجامعة، وأنا اللي درستهم. بشتغل هني بعطيهم قروش بيدرسوا في الجامعة. لأنه أبوهم متوفى. استفادوا هيك. واستفادوا هالحين يعني نجحوا في الجامعة وهالحين في البيت.
Can you tell me what's the most exciting thing you found or that you've cleaned whilst you've been here?
لقيت مصج هيك وقزاز.
Can I see them?
لقيتها.
Wow.
أيوة سراج.
It's beautiful.
سراج هيك.
I like this one. This is pretty cool. And what is this?
هذه حلق من الفترة الرومانية. رومان.
Wow. That's very old.
Good.
Good?
Good.
What do you reckon? I always fancied a piercing. It's crazy to think that these amazing bits of jewellery and pottery have just been lying forgotten in a pile of earth. Now, as more pieces are retrieved and catalogued, it's hoped we can learn more about the everyday lives of the people who built this incredible city more than 2,000 years ago. Next, we catch up with our thirsty explorer. This week, he visits Vietnam to find out why coffee is the one drink that most Vietnamese just can't do without.
Ho Chi Minh can overwhelm the uninitiated. It's loud, fast, frenetic. The liquid that fuels the chaos is coffee. Highly caffeinated coffee.
Wow, that is intense.
Coffee served in a way that's uniquely Vietnamese. Bitter coffee slowly drips from filter into cup, creating perfect balance as it blends with sweet condensed milk. And it serves as a catalyst for a favorite Vietnamese pastime: conversation.
It's never done dripping.
It is the purpose of the Vietnamese coffee because you can sit down, wait for coffee, and talk to your friends.
Perhaps that's why locals were getting their fix all over the city. At cafes, roadside stands, off the back of bicycles. In many coffee shops, it's all about the atmosphere. The trick can be knowing how to find the city's infamous secret cafes. V promised to help me uncover them.
Every chance people go out, mostly they go out for coffee. It's a very old building, it's quite interesting. Why don't we open up some interesting place here, like this forgotten corner of the city?
Vietnamese coffee is way better because of its strong, rich taste.
As far as I was concerned, Vietnamese coffee wasn't about the flavor of the beans. I cared more about the perfect balance of bitter and sweet, about the conversations I had while watching the coffee drip, and the secret cafes I uncovered with new friends. For me, it was about experiencing a coffee culture that's completely unique to this country.
Still to come on the travel show.
Is this normal for it to be pouring?
This is not normal in this season.
How record temperatures are affecting one of Switzerland's largest glaciers. So stay with us for that. Right, lads? The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading. Yay!
Hello and welcome to Trending Travel, where we explore what's hot online in the world of travel. I'll be bringing you through those essential apps, videos and blogs to take with you when you leave home. Our top social media stories this month begin in Melbourne, Australia, as it's recently been crowned the most livable city for the 6th year in a row. The survey, put together by The Economist, gives the world's major cities a score based on healthcare, education, culture, environment, stability and infrastructure. Melbourne racked up 97.5 points out of a possible 100, narrowly beating Vienna by 1 point. Now, you may remember we covered Matt Green's attempt to walk every street in New York earlier this year. But more recently, 25-year-old lawyer Matthew Ahn just broke his own record of visiting every single New York City subway in one journey. He completed the Guinness World Record in 21 hours, 28 minutes and 14 seconds and planned an itinerary that didn't leave a single transfer to chance. Meet Yorkie, the presenter of the world's first travelogue hosted by a dog. The Tourism Board of the City of York in England have created a 3-part film series in which they say viewers can go on adventures with the Yorkshire Terrier. Yorkie attempts to showcase what visitors can expect to see in York and the surrounding areas. For a unique hotel experience, the Knoll Stern in the Swiss Alps offers guests a minimalist room, 6,463 feet above sea level, with no walls, no roof, and no bathroom. The rooms come in at a hefty 250 Swiss francs per night, but this hasn't deterred guests from fully booking them up this summer. We love staying connected with you all online, and don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and email. Especially via Twitter on Tuesdays, where you've been sending us your photos from around the world using the hashtag #TravelTuesday. We especially liked Pixie Nicholson's amazing sunset in Angkor Wat, Cambodia, and Gavin Burnett's evocative Illindonan Castle in Scotland. Check out our Twitter and Facebook pages for loads of exclusive travel show content and top travel news stories to keep you up to date and inspired for your next world-class adventure.
Now let's look at the viral videos that have been clocking up the views this month.
When Leon Jam-Rosie visited New York from Germany, he immediately fell in love with the place and decided to create a film about the city. He writes on his Vimeo page that the main concept was capturing the spirit and the diversity of the city, and I think you'll agree that along the way, he filmed some really special moments. Filmmaker Sebastian Linder went to Italy to create a short film based around his visit to Giuseppe Spagnuolo, the elderly sole inhabitant of an abandoned village. Entitled Memento Mori, which translated from Latin means remember that you must die, the film touches upon mortality, but also attempts to express a positive message. And finally, to a country that's slowly opening up to more tourists, Iran. In his film, director Pete Rojwan Surya hopes to convey some of the warmth he received from the people during his visit there, saying that he thought he knew what good hospitality was like until he came to Iran.
And don't forget to check out our website for all the ways that you can get in touch, or if you've seen anything online that you think we should be looking at. See you next time.
Next up, we're in the Swiss Alps, famous for their peaks of ice and snow. But recent temperatures in Switzerland have been some of the warmest on record, and that's having a big impact on the country's glaciers and the tourist attractions that depend on a cooler climate. We sent Joe Worley to the Rhone Glacier to find out more.
This is the tiny village of Glech in the Swiss Alps, and it owes its existence and name to the Rhone glacier that sits above the valley. The word Gletscher means glacier in Swiss German. This massive ice is one of the largest in Switzerland and also the source of the River Rhone. In the mid-19th century, people started to come here from all over Europe to see the glacier. At that point, even in summertime, it stretched all the way down to the village. Now, the view is very different.
And you can see on this signpost just how far it used to reach. In 1856, I would have been literally standing on the glacier. It's strange to think that now I can't really see very much, just a tiny bit of ice right at the top of the mountain.
The scale of the ice melt is extreme. Between 1856 and 2010, the glacier receded by more than 1,400 metres. Now, to see the glacier properly, it's a short and very twisting drive from Glech up the mountainside.
It's very, very windy.
In the 1900s, this was all ice. Now, all I can see are the scars in the rock.
Around this corner, we can see the Rhone glacier.
Oh my God.
The Rhone glacier.
Glacier expert Dr. Volkan explains how the melting rate has accelerated in recent years.
The end of the Rhone glacier was in the year 2011, was here by the end of the lake, and in the last 5 years the Rhone glaciers retreat about 150 meters, and this is very extreme.
As the ice has retreated, a new glacial lake has formed.
The new iceberg here.
It's incredible to see mini icebergs floating across the surface, but also alarming to think that 5 years ago this was all solid ice.
Here was ice.
We walk down to a spot where you can see right underneath the glacier.
Oh, unbelievable. You can see it.
So blue.
So blue. Very nice. You can see here.
It's so loose, isn't it, the ice?
Yes.
I can't quite believe how quickly the water is pouring down from underneath the glacier. And every few seconds, whole chunks of ice are tumbling down from off the top of it. It's quite heartbreaking, really. Is this normal for it to be pouring?
No, this is not normal in this season. The first 2 weeks in this September was the hottest September since records began in Switzerland since 150 years.
Why are the temperatures rising so much?
Because we have the global warming. Last year was the warmest year globally and also in Switzerland. It's 2 degrees too warm in Switzerland.
In 50 years, in 100 years, what will it look like here, just bare rocks?
All our results show us that the Rhone glaciers will melt back and back in the next decades. By the end of this century, only 10% of the ice volume will remain then.
If the glacier does keep shrinking back, that will affect tourism in this region. Most people who visit here in summertime come to see the Rhone Glacier Ice Grotto, which has been carved out annually since 1870.
Wow!
It's very nice, the blue ice in this region.
It is
you can touch
beautiful.
It. Very nice.
This tunnel through the ice is 100 metres long.
I can't quite believe how beautiful it is.
You can see the very clear ice with the bubbles there. It's 200 years old ice here.
So blue, look at this.
So blue, exactly. It's very nice. Here we are in the heart of the Rhone glacier, in this place here.
It's so peaceful in here. Feels like a church of ice.
Some worry the grotto might have an impact on the melting of the glacier. But Dr. Volkan tells me there's an ingenious way to protect the ice above the tunnel.
So we're standing on the ice now?
Yes, now here are the blankets, and under these blankets we have ice. These white blankets here reflect very good the sunlight radiation, and so we have less radiation, less energy to melt the ice here. Yes.
What impact do the blankets have on the temperature of the ice?
The blankets reduce the ice melting during the summertime between 50 to 70% from June to September.
I can see how the ice above the tunnel is much better preserved. It's about 10 metres higher than anywhere else.
Could you put blankets over the whole glacier?
It's not possible. This is too expensive. We have several hundred kilometers of ice in the Swiss Alps, and this is not possible to cover all glaciers in Switzerland with these blankets.
The blankets might be working well in this small area, but as the rest of the ice melts back, their impact will be lessened. And it's predicted even more will disappear in the next decade. I feel lucky to have been able to see it.
Well, sadly, that's it for this week. Try and catch us next week when Carmen's in Peru, exploring one of South America's most important ancient cities, Cuelap.
Look at these stone houses, there's hundreds of them.
And don't forget, you can keep up with us on all our travels out here on the road in real time and social media. All the details should be on the bottom of the screen. But for now, from me and all the Travel Show team here in Petra, it's goodbye.